Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ground Up with Natalee, the podcast that pulls back the curtain on what it actually takes to build a career in the entertainment industry as an actor. I sit down with actors, directors, and casting directors to talk about the real, unfiltered journey, the highs, the lows, and everything in between. No gatekeeping, no overnight success myths, just honest conversations to remind you that you're not alone and that you too can follow this dream. I hope you enjoy. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Ground Up with Natalee. First of all, thank you guys for listening. I'm so excited that you keep coming back every single week. Today is a super special episode. I'm not going to lie. It's very dear to my heart and personal to me because this is my acting teacher that I've had for 10 years. I have coached with a handful of acting teachers over the last decade, but she is one of the first studios that I stumbled into at the ripe age of 20. And she is who I go to coach for a lot of my auditions. And she's just an overall wonderful human being. She is just team actor through and through. She's an actor herself, graduated from NYU, graduated from Yale. She has her BFA, her master's, and she's been teaching, more importantly, for the last 35 years, how to get actors into television and film specifically. And that's what all you guys come every single week to listen for. So, you know, I always talk about the business side of things. I bring on actors and I ask them, how did you get your agent and manager? How did your first audition go? Blah, blah, blah. In this episode, we are going into the acting side of things. You know, she's an acting teacher. So it's not a method. It's how to dive into the character work, into the genre, the circumstance. What are you doing as the character in that moment? And she dives into that on such a deep level. And then there's so many nuggets until the very end, you guys. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, we were 65 minutes in and I'm like, I hope that people listen to the end because what you're saying in these last 10 minutes are so invaluable. So make sure you give this episode a listen to the very end. And of course, as always, send it to someone that you feel like needs some inspiration because that is exactly what this episode is. All right, into the episode.
What is the deal here exactly?
Oh, perfect.
Do you want to be in the podcast? You should be on camera. I totally feel that you should be on
anytime. All right, Leslie, we start every episode with the Ground Up 3. So I just want to know 3 very important questions. Number 1, where are you from?
I am from Highland Park, Illinois. It is about 25 miles north of Chicago, and it is where anorexia nervosa and bulimia began.
Is it really?
It is. I don't know if the first case was in Highland Park, but it is where the, what do you call it? The original place where they try to fix us anorexics and bulimics.
Was that a part of your?
Yeah. I mean, it was a rite of passage where I'm from. You were pretty much anorexic, bulimic, and then you generally graduated to a certain amount of drug addiction and went right on to alcohol addiction and whatever else you could.
Oh my God. Well, if you're from Highland Park and you had this experience, feel free to chime in. Okay. What was your first dream job when you were younger? Like when you were 7, like for me, it was, I want to be a chemist. Like what was your first dream job that you thought you wanted?
Oh, I wanted to be an actor.
You did? Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I remember being 6 years old and dancing around the living room to Cinderella that had just come out with Lesly Warren, which tells you exactly how old I am, I think. Maybe I was 7, give or take. But yeah, I saw that and I'm like, oh, well, that's what I need to do.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
Did you ever see the Lesly Warren Cinderella?
No. Do I need to add it to my homework?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, okay. I only saw the VHS.
Okay. Natalee, I know that you are youthful, but my God, woman, you got to see Lesly Warren Cinderella.
Is that who you were named after?
No.
Okay. Dang it. That'd be cool.
Who was? I don't know that I was named after anyone. I do know that my father, my mother was, after I'd been born, I guess asleep, and my father went in and they'd never discussed this name, but my father went in, wrote my name down, and spelled it with a Y, and I think they didn't speak for weeks.
Stop.
Yeah.
And then that was your name?
Upset. Yeah. I think she wanted me to be Ashley.
Okay. We all have that where there's 2, you know what I mean? Leslie, I don't see you as an Ashley. Maybe that's just because I've known you as Leslie for 10 years.
Probably.
But right?
I'm Leslie Jane.
Leslie Jane. That's actually really cute.
Okay, but I haven't introduced Matt.
Okay, yes. No, so Matt? I want to know where where she's from, what her first dream job was and what she was named after.
Okay. All right. I'm going to tell you all of that. She's from San Diego.
Okay.
She her first dream job was, pooping in every corner of our living room. And you did that really, really well, didn't you?
Followed your dreams.
And her name is Judah Maccabee, and you can call her Mac or, ready? Hey Jude. Yes, you can call her Hey Jude if you want.
Jude.
Hey Jude. Yeah.
Hey Jude.
And so Judah Maccabee is this very famous person in the Jewish religion who, when he got the temple back from, I think, the Egyptians who had enslaved the Jews, it's the story of Hanukkah. There was only enough oil for one night of light, but there was a miracle, and it lasted for 8 nights.
Wow.
And I associate him with that, Judah Maccabee.
Yeah.
And you remember Khaleesi, her sister. So Khaleesi was named for Khaleesi in Game of Thrones. And one of the reasons I named Khaleesi is because, that episode in the first season of Game of Thrones when she blew everyone's mind.
Right.
And I was so blown away by her. I was like,
touched
she is
forever.
the strongest woman, but yet feminine and beautiful and soft-spoken. And I'm like, I aspire to be like Khaleesi. And I named Khaleesi. But what I didn't realize is that would, every time I called her Khaleesi, or one of the 763,000 nicknames I had for her, I would think about that. I would think about her strength, and it gave me strength.
Yeah.
So I named you Judah Maccabee so that you could remind Mama of miracles.
I love how that is so intentional, because you say it every day, all day, multiple times a day.
Yeah. Well, my client, I'm not going to name him, but my client just got a dog, the cutest dog in the world, and my client decided to call his dog, don't be mad at me, Mr. Pickles. And I'm like, why are you calling your dog? Because it's funny. And I'm like, okay, but it's not motivating.
Yeah.
It's not inspiring.
Totally.
Nobody's going to say, why did you call him?
Oh my God, where does that come from?
Right. And you're going to go, because it's funny.
Because it's funny. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, my client is a comedian, so it makes
there
sense.
You go.
Anyway, back to me. You wanted to know.
Well, the third one is, so that was your first dream job, acting. And then the third one of the ground up 3 is, so your first dream job was acting. What ended up being your first job, as in mine was a bagger at Albertsons?
Oh, see, I misunderstood the questions. My first job was I worked I was the receptionist at a restaurant called Wildberry in Highland Park, Illinois.
Yes, you were.
But I wanted to talk about something else.
What?
I wanted to tell you about something else. I thought your question was, what was your first favorite big acting job?
Oh, yeah, we can,
Can I answer that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Because I thought about that.
Yeah.
And what I realized is it's none of the plays that I had the lead in. It's none of the TV that I did. It's none of that. It's this play I did at Interlaken, the National Music Camp, when I was in probably 8th or 9th grade in the summer. And I was in the chorus. I was in the chorus of Oklahoma. And that's my favorite thing that I've ever done. That's where I had that feeling that we all love when we're acting, that feeling of being so full and of being in the world.
Yeah.
Why I loved being in the chorus is kind of beyond me.
Yeah.
I remember snippets of the singing and the dancing, but that was like the most fulfilled.
You can feel it in your soul, like you remember those moments.
Yeah, and I guess I loved lots of other things, but that was the one where I felt that thing that, we chase for the rest of our lives.
And that was really young, so that's what you were like, oh shit, I better chase this for the rest of my life.
Yeah, and then the other one was my freshman year in high school. I played the third dead woman from the left in my high school's production of Our Town.
Best time ever.
Yeah, I think I had a line, and it was just that feeling of being part of.
Was a lot of it the lead up, the process as well, that you really enjoyed, being with everyone and
the rehearsals?
Yeah, the rehearsals.
Yeah, and I loved our acting teacher. Our acting teacher
the
was...
whole experience. That's what it is with TV too. It's like when the whole experience is good, and then you're like, that was the job I loved, the character and everyone involved. So that makes sense. So you got this spark super early on.
Oh, yeah.
You ended up you did theater all in high school, and then you went to NYU straight at 18.
No, I went to Cornell.
Cornell.
My parents did not want me to be an actor. They wanted me to be a lawyer. And they said I had to go to a, quote, fine Eastern school for 2 years, and then we'd see. And so I went to Cornell and did theater at Cornell.
As an elective, essentially?
I guess.
How does that work? I didn't go to college.
It wasn't a major because I had to major in pre-law.
Got it. Oh, wow.
And then they let me leave. And then I went to NYU. And I guess I kept pursuing everywhere I went. Everywhere I went to school, I kept pursuing that feeling. And it got further and further and further away. By the time I went to graduate school, I mean, I don't think I ever had that feeling while I was acting in graduate school.
Yeah.
And then after graduate school, and you know, I theoretically went to the best school in the world. Yeah. So you would think that if I was going to have it, I would have it there. I did not. And then after that, it was the real world. And I certainly didn't like acting then. Yeah.
Yeah, you said that you got these ritzy degrees, paid an incredible amount in tuitions, got to LA, and then you didn't know how to act.
I didn't know.
Let alone, I think you're quoted in saying, like, I didn't have the slightest idea of how to actually act, but probably even pursue a career in television and film as well.
Oh, they didn't teach you that in my day.
And I fear that it's the same or similar now as well if you were to go to a 4-year college, and you might come out feeling similar as far as what is my first step in pursuing a career.
I don't think so.
In television and film.
I don't think so. Did I say that in class? I don't think so. I think that these days these programs have to do that because the kids wouldn't go. If the kids didn't know that you were going to help them try to get an agent and put them in a showcase and teach them about marketing, they wouldn't go. So I think they do offer it. I love this phrase, my day, there was none of that shit.
Right. It was just,
It was just come out here and
Methods,
see how it goes.
Learning.
And, you know, I was lucky. I did come out here with an agent. I did get an agent out of the league auditions. I was, you know, really lucky. I still didn't know what the hell I was doing. I didn't understand that my picture wasn't supposed to be pretty if I wasn't marketing pretty because they didn't use the word pretty. And I had no idea. I had no idea what I was doing. And I didn't know how to act.
What inspired you to be like, okay, I want to be a teacher?
Oh, well, first of all, I had the greatest acting teacher in the world in high school. Her name was Barbara June Greener Patterson. And there are a lot of people who went to Highland Park High who know exactly who I'm talking about. She was the greatest. So I loved the idea of acting teaching, and I was a TA for her and everything. So I loved that. But it wasn't that. It was a boyfriend. And I was at Yale, and I guess I needed to get a job. And he goes, why don't you get a job teaching? And I'm like, I don't know. Have you noticed that I don't even like acting? I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And he goes, well, you teach what you need to learn. And he was right. And I got really, really lucky. And I got a teaching job. And they hired me to teach one class. And by the end of that semester, I was running the department and I was teaching full-time while concurrently working at a law firm because money. And because Yale had been so expensive, so I was paying for that. I was paying for my undergrad. I was paying for everything. So I couldn't even afford to go and do regional theater. I did. I just went further into debt. Yeah. It was awful. Hold on. Yeah. She wants to get down. Souffle?
Souffle?
She's yours. If you wouldn't mind watching her. Hi.
How old are we during this? So you're working at the law firm. You're now you just taught a semester, and you're like 22, and you're paying rent.
No. I didn't start teaching until after.
Oh wait, no, 22. You did a lot of school.
I finished my BFA. I think I was 23 because I transferred from Cornell to NYU, and then I did 3 years at Yale. So I think I was probably 27, 28 when I started teaching. And my kids were just a little bit younger than I was. And my kids that I was teaching, it was great.
When did you open your studio, Lesly Kahn?
Well, it was not ever I'm going to open an acting studio. It was, I was teaching in New York, and then I started private coaching in New York, and then I moved out here. And suffered greatly, and like we all do. And then,
Literally.
and then I guess I just started coaching people, and then this is what happened. One day we were all, I'm indicating my friend, because we were all at lunch one day at Farmer's Market, and we're all bemoaning our lives as actors. And of course now when I think about that group, many of them are household names now. And somebody said, you know, we were all miserable, and somebody said, when have you ever been happy? And they got to me, and I said, I was really happy when I was teaching acting class in New York. And they said, well, let's start an acting class. And I go, how do I do that? And they go, just, you know, rent out one of those rat-infested places on Santa Monica. And I could do that because, of course, I was working at a law firm to survive.
Of course.
And we did, and they came to the class, my friends, and they sent their friends to class, and it was the greatest.
That's like, what a time in the 90s too, and you're all just getting lunch together, and they're like, oh, what do you want to do? What makes you happy? What do we do? And you're like, well, this one thing, and then look at you now.
Well, I mean, I'm so lucky that it was them.
Yeah.
You know?
Are you friends with all of them still? I mean,
I'm friends with many of them still, not all of. I mean, and all of them I'm friendly with. Just some of them are living rarefied lives. So I'm not as friendly with them.
You are such not a name dropper. I love it. Like, I've never experienced that. I've cheated on you a couple times, Les.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Over my last decade here. So a little backstory. Lesly was I went to a studio when I was still living in Orange County. I drove up to LA and went to Anthony Meindl's when I was 19. Stumbled into your joint when I was 20, the ripe age of 20.
Oh my God.
And oh my gosh, sometimes I get so sad thinking about the nostalgia and how much fun I had in your class. I send anyone to your school. I'm like, you have to go there first. You have to meet your people. You have to learn how to read sides and auditions and scripts like every day, like get used. And oh my gosh, I don't know if you guys still do 3 hours a day rehearsals, but my friends and I in your classes, we used to, you know, we had shared Excel docs, and I would host at my little apartment that I lived in with a roommate. And I'd be like, to my roommate, I'd be like, are you busy from 3 to 6? Because I just told my entire acting class that they can come over and like do these scenes. And she's like, yeah, have them over. And she talks about it to this day. She's still one of my best friends, Melissa. And she's like, I'm so proud of you. I remember you in your little acting classes in the living room. And, but I look back on that and I'm like, yeah, I could still, you know, do that. I can still have friends over and act, but it's not going to be the same. Like we were, you know, 22, 23, 24. And also that was the heyday of auditioning. So people were bringing in their auditions for these leads in shows, and everyone was so talented because we worked with you, you know, not just one day a week, but we would sometimes just come there and work in the courtyard, and you might be there and we'd ask questions, whatever. So,
or I'd yell out the window. Sometimes I'd be up in my office and my window would be open and I'd hear what you were doing. And I know I would, because I still do it today. And I'm like, what is your thought? What are you thinking when she says that to you?
Yep.
And then you're like, oh my God, she's watching.
She's watching. She's
watching
everywhere.
From on high. Oh my God.
Ground Up is sponsored by Mastermind Media. Whenever someone asks me, how do I get everything done between my social media, my podcast, I say, well, I don't do any of it. Mastermind Media helps me with all of it. They created my logo. All of those reels you see on TikTok and Instagram, it's them. My podcast, editing, all the graphics on YouTube, it's Mastermind Media. So in this digital age, I find that more and more people are needing a company like this who handles everything start to finish. So if you're interested in finally taking your business idea to the next level, definitely contact Mastermind Media. All of their information is in my show notes. So let's get into this. I would never describe Lesly Kahn as any sort of method per se, but I would love to get into what you do teach, because even though I've cheated on you, I use what you've taught me today in auditions and on set. But you say that, you know, acting is, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's 100% technical, 100% organic, and 100% fuck it.
Yep.
So
we're done. End of the interview.
And
It's
yeah,
over.
thank you guys so much.
Okay.
Tanner, thank you for having us.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks to our producer.
Bye.
And so I'd love to start. Let's start with the 100% technical.
Okay, well, this is what I have to say.
Yeah.
I was educated that everything was about how I feel. How would you feel if you were in these given circumstances? How would you feel if this happened to you? And, that's what we're taught. The first thing that any teacher teaches us is bring yourself to the role. And I just completely and totally disagree with that. Now, that said, I understand why that's taught, because most people are not, they don't come out of the womb wildly talented actors. They come out of the womb not wildly talented actors, but people who want to be on TV or in movies. They don't have an instinct for it. So it's a good thing that Acting 101 teachers say, well, let's start with you. How would you feel if you were in these circumstances? But what happens is we never graduate to Acting 110 or to Acting 200. We never graduate. We just keep learning new ways of being yourself and bringing yourself to the role. And so what happens is all these actors are running around bringing themselves to the role when themselves has nothing to do with the role. They've given you a breakdown. And sometimes when we're really lucky, they give you a whole script. Can you believe it? And so you know exactly who your character is, and yet we're bringing ourselves to the role. And these days, it's awful, because at least 5-6 years ago, you'd go in the room and you'd sit there with Jeff Greenberg, and Jeff Greenberg would look at you and he'd go, yeah, that's exactly what my creatives want her to look like. You'd do the first 3 lines of the scene and he'd go, no, what the hell are you doing? That's wrong, do it like this. And if you were lucky enough to be able to take a note, you could get lucky and move forward and maybe get a call back. But these days, it's a tape.
It's a tape.
And you blow it in those first 3 seconds. They have to see 300 tapes today. In the old days, Patrick Rush told me they needed to see 10 people in the morning and 12 people in the afternoon.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Now they have to see 300 tapes. And they're not, looking at all 10 minutes or 7 minutes or 5 minutes or even 2 minutes of all of those tapes. They're not doing that. And we know it because they went on Instagram and they told us, and they disrespected us, and they made us feel like they humiliated us. I'm not watching those actors, that whole tape, but they also said something really smart, which is, why I got to wait until page 2 for you to prove to me that you're the character. If you can't prove to me that you're the character right there at the outset, why I got to sit and watch the rest of your tape, bitch? So and they're right.
Yeah.
Can I not say that on your podcast?
No, you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're right. I mean, I don't like the way it was said, but they're absolutely right. So that means we have to nail it from the get-go. And we are not taught to do that. We're taught to feel our way there. We're taught that if it doesn't feel good, don't do it. Just wait until it feels good. That's a different world. That's 1950s New York theater classes.
No, literally.
This is a different time. We have to be so much more skilled than we were in 2020 in February. We have to be better, because they are going to go to the next tape because they have to. And that is the end of that. They don't hate us. They don't disrespect us. They just have a job to do.
Yeah. We have to get better with them. We have to, everyone talks about society, how fast it is, and this hamster wheel and all of this. It's like it correlates to acting now. Yeah,
because they can. So this is what it is. This is what they have to do. I don't think casting likes it. I think casting got into casting because they like actors and they like hanging out with us.
Yeah.
I don't think they love not hanging out with us. Why do you think they got into the business? So I don't think anybody's really happy about it. But to go back to what you're saying, the problem is that the root of all actor training is, how would you feel? And there are many, many ways of doing that. You can do that by repeating for 2 years. And you can, with Mr. Meisner, you can do that by playing actions and objectives. You can do that by having substitutions. And all of those are delightful techniques. So let's say you just can't get to the emotional place of this scene. It's real nice to know how to get to a substitution. It's great. If you're not listening, it's really great to know how to repeat. But those are just little areas of acting. I feel like we need to know everything about acting, which is why I say I don't teach a technique. I teach everything except for the techniques. You want to go learn Meisner, go learn Meisner. You want to go learn Adler, go learn Adler. I feel like we teach you everything else. So one of the things I say is, let's say Meisner is the 405. Well, let me see. Once I get to the 405, it can get me to Orange County, I guess, if that's where I want to go. Can it get me to Orange County? Okay, excellent. I'm not good at geography.
I'm from Orange County, so lucky you.
Look at that. But is it going to get me to your house? No, I got to get off the 405, and then there are like 15 other streets I need to take. And in order to get to your house, I'm not going to get all the way there. And I want us to be able to get all the way there. And so when I say acting is 100% organic, I mean organic, but not in terms of how you would feel in these given circumstances.
Yeah.
I mean organic in terms of listening, how this character would listen, what this character's listening would be in this genre, these given circumstances, in this relationship. And then on the other side of that, it's also 100% technical. The writer has written all kinds of technical things. You go to the audition and you don't do them, or you skip stage direction, or you go, yeah, I don't think the character would do that. I think the character would do this other thing. And the writer's sitting there going, hi,
Yeah.
what about what I wrote? Writer's employed. They like the writer's script, right? They just, this character, she said she's a femme fatale and she blah, 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 blah. Well, I don't feel like being a femme fatale. Okay, well then you don't feel like being employed, I guess, because that's what they want you to do. Why don't you, I don't know, try that? And so my theory is do everything they're telling you to do. But that's really hard when we have MFAs. And how would you feel if you were in these given circumstances?
Right.
We don't have an MFA in how to read the way actors need to read, or how to be organic the way this character would be organic.
And also, we're talking about television a lot of the time, too.
Yeah, because that's where most of the jobs are.
That's where we are.
Because, listen, these days y'all are getting auditions for independent films that will pay neither you nor your reps anything. But in the old days, they never sent you out for those things because they were too busy sending you out for TV and film. Why? Because TV and film pays. Not film, unless you're auditioning.
Yeah.
So TV paid. Now they're even sending you out for indies just to keep us alive.
Yeah. Keep us
just
inspired.
to keep
Yeah.
our keep us in the game, because it's so depressing
Yeah.
these days.
I feel like no actor would usually admit this, but you're talking about it, and I fully can't agree more. Is like, I can take a TV script, and because of what you've taught me and my own just like common sense, I can be like, okay, I have to do this in 24 hours. I can accomplish this. I might not be the person that they want, but I'm going to do the best that I can to my ability with knowing this network, knowing this, circumstance, genre, all of that.
Who the writer is, who's casting, who's directing,
maybe
who's
watch
producing.
an episode, see what the
Yes.
hell they're wearing, because it's a formula, and I could be like, okay, let me fuck around. Yeah, okay, I can
So
do this.
instead of starting at you, you're starting full bore with what they want.
Yeah.
Right? Which is why the last time I coached you, I'm like, yes, that's great. What about here? Could you, it's not like it used to be at the beginning when I had to be, okay, what genre are we in?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now you're like, you're there. And
Yeah.
I get to go, what looks better on her? What do I think this director will like better? I get to be even a little creative because you know what the hell you're doing now, which is really fun.
It's fun.
It's really
so,
fun.
but about authenticity, because I do tell actors, I'm like, bring your special sauce to the role, because no one else, the classic, there's only one of you, bring you to the role because everyone's going to do it the same, blah, blah, blah. So I do agree with that. Like, let's say I have a quirky laugh, or, I can be a little flirty, or in situations that maybe someone else wouldn't do that. Should I bring that to it? If it makes sense.
It's not, I don't love that.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not saying that, I feel like we actors are the grout between the tile. Let's imagine each beautiful Italian tile is a scene in the show. We're the grout in between. So we have to make it make sense. We are not actually the Italian tile, even though we think we're the Italian tile, and we want to be the prettiest, coolest Italian tile out there. Writer already wrote the Italian tile. We have to make sure that the tile doesn't break, doesn't fall off. We're what hold it together.
Each scene, make sure it can get to the next part of the story.
Yeah. I say we're the grout. So if you are like, okay, but I have a cute laugh. I'm going to put my cute laugh in here. I would actually love you not to do that. Instead, I'd love you to spend all of your time thinking your character's thoughts and being in this genre and in these exact given circumstances and in this exact relationship. Once you've accomplished that, guess what's going to happen? Your cute laugh.
Organic. Yeah.
Inadvertently, your
Right.
cute laugh is going to come out, right? Inadvertently, her funny smile is going to come out. Inadvertently, he's going to give you that look he gives.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want you to think, okay, this is a perfect place for my cute smile and my cute laugh. That's the last thing I want you to do. There's nothing organic in there.
No.
So that's why I say no one else is coming with you. When they say, but shouldn't I bring myself to the role? I'm not coming. You're not going. No one else is going to be there. You're the only one who's going to be there. So do your job. And at the end of the job is going to be your special sauce, right? It's going to show up just because you're you. And if you're fully doing what your job is, your sauce will show up.
I love that.
But does that make sense?
It does. No, it makes complete sense. It makes complete sense because like you're saying, because that's it's you, it's Natalee's laugh regardless because I am me.
I coached a girl the other day and it was a nightmare because she got on the Zoom and she's like, okay, you need to tell me what to do in this scene. I don't know what to do in this scene. And I'm like, okay, but that's the last scene you're shooting at the end of the movie. Shouldn't we start at the beginning of the movie? I mean, I'm just, no. You just need to, I'm good with all the other scenes. And I'm like, great, let's read them. So we read them and I'm like, okay, so let's start at the beginning and let's find out, why she's a bitch and why oh my God, really? She's not really a bitch. It's just X, Y, and Z have happened to her. And that's caused her to do A, B, and C. And that's caused them to think that she's a bitch. But really, she's just this fragile little vulnerable thing that's been, raped by this one and whatever by that one. And suddenly she's got so much going on in her character that her special sauce is everywhere. But at no point in time did I have to say, bring out your special sauce.
Right there. That's the perfect place to put it. Yeah.
Once you
understand. Yeah.
But we have to do our job first.
Which is, I need this. This is going to be, I need to start asking complete sentences. What is the actor's job?
The actor's job is to play the character in this genre, given circumstance and relationship, and listen whilst doing so. So that means the actor doesn't decide how they're going to do it. They are pushed into that performance by the genre, which has its restrictions. So one of the things I always say is, I like to show this scene from Game of Thrones where this guy is going to get axed in the chest, and the other guy says to Cersei, now I can't remember the thing, but basically he says, do you want me to axe him in the chest? And she basically says, sure, why not? Right? It's a fake historical drama. The stakes couldn't be any lower, right? On some level, right? Even though her stakes are high and she probably doesn't want the guy to be axed in the chest, she doesn't go, no, because what are you doing right now when I do that? You're laughing. Suddenly the stakes come up and it's funny. She goes, sure, kill him, I don't care. Very low stakes.
Yeah.
So I have no idea what your question was. Did I answer it?
Yeah, this was about acting, something about acting. Yes.
What did you ask?
What's the actor's job?
Okay, so if the first thing is genre, that's the thing. If you come in and you're playing Cersei in that moment and you're going, no, right away, you're not getting that job. Bye-bye. Okay, so you can't not be in the right genre.
So your job is to underfuck the stand. What is going on?
Your job is to be the character. How we be the character is we think the character's thoughts. We think we be the character by wearing the right shoes and by wearing the right top and by and listen, the shoes and the top might help the viewer decide that you're the character, but they're not going to help. And listen, a shoe is always a useful thing. It makes us feel a certain way. But I feel like we actors get so confused between casting and acting. And I really feel like we have to take casting off the table. We have to stop it, right? If they say that they want you to play a sweet, innocent young girl and you're wearing that top, that's fine, right? I think that I wouldn't blow my hair out completely straight if we want sweet on you, because it doesn't make you look sweet. It makes you look like, a badass motherfucker. So I would say, what happens when your hair isn't blown out straight, Nat? Do you know what I'm saying? So we can look at it, but we've got to stop being like, oh my God, they want this character to be 28 and I'm 35. They're going to be able to tell that I'm 35 and I'm never going to get it. I shouldn't even go in. This is just a disaster. I'm moving back to Philadelphia. No, it's up to them. Why don't you just go in and assume that somebody thinks you look 28 or you wouldn't be going out for this?
Totally.
Probably casting, looked at a picture and thought you were 28. Get out of that. Take it off the table. Wear something that makes you feel like you're 28 and something that makes you, feel like you're that character, and move on and do your work. Stop worrying about how they're going to cast you. They're going to do whatever the hell they want to do. Right? And somebody can think that you look 28 and somebody can think you look 48. And it depends on who has the final say. None of your business.
Literally.
Right?
Yep.
None.
And it takes so much stress out of it for us.
Oh my God. You get to go act today.
Literally.
Is what it comes down to. You get to go do this character that you might not be right for, but how freaking fun is that going to be? And then Junie Lowry Johnson gets to see you do it. And you get to have done this great piece for Junie Lowry Johnson. And she may or may not move you forward because she may or may not think you're right for the role, but you just did something that blew her brain. And you don't think she's going to remember that? They remember.
They remember.
They remember when you're great. It's their job to remember, and they're really good at remembering. So you want to do that. You want to be in the right circumstances. Well, I just feel like I wouldn't do that if I were the character. Okay, but this character is doing that. It says it on the paper. It says she slams the door, but I wouldn't slam the door. Slam the motherfucking door. Because that's what this writer wants you to do. The showrunner wants you to do it. The network, the studio, everybody wants you to slam the door. But everybody's going to slam the door. Nobody is going to slam the door. The whole problem is nobody is slamming the door. Nobody is doing what the paper says. If you all were doing what the paper says, you'd be doing better. But we're so busy trying to set ourselves apart and be different. Well, everybody's going to do that. Nobody's doing it. You were going to ask me something.
Yeah, I was just thinking about tapes that I've done, and I'm like, I feel like all the ones I've booked, I have followed thy directions on thy page. I remember I had an audition for All American that you helped me with that I booked.
Yay!
And
Yay! But did you tell me? Sometimes you people don't tell me when you
I
book
did,
things,
and you
I
actually
have to wait and I have to see it on TV.
No, this is
and
a long
I
time
cry.
ago, and you posted it on LK. But you know what happened was, and this is a short. I'll give you a short story, but it was during the pandemic, and I filmed an entire episode, and I had to get recast because Raising Kanan called me to come to New York, and they're like, she can't be flying. And so I was supposed to do a handful of episodes of that. And the showrunner was, she was so NK. She was like, so sad. We were all sad, but I had to get recast. But my point is I went in, it was Zoom auditioning or Zoom in class. And I did this audition in class and I came with it and I was like, yeah, can we do this for my scene tonight? I'm not going to do it with scene partner. Yeah. Da-da-da. So you're like, yeah, let's go. And I brought it in and I thought that this character was so just kind of like shy. And you're like, I just had an idea. I didn't do enough of and you're like, what do you mean? She's confident as fuck. She's coming into this school right now and she's not backing down. She's not scared. And I was just like, man, I really could have missed. I missed that, and it's
we're
like,
educated
how do we
to miss it?
What?
We're educated to miss it because again, we're told, don't do this. Don't do what's written on the page. Do what you feel. Bring yourself to the role. And I think that there may be a place for that in some theater, right? But even then, I don't know. I'm kind of interested in what Arthur Miller wanted me to do. I'm kind of interested. He was a genius. So I'm kind of interested in what he thinks the character is, not who I think the character is. Right. I didn't write the goddamn play.
Right. They're giving us information. Take it. Do what okay, I love that. God, I feel like you have such a unique perspective because you've seen 40,000 actors come through your door?
I don't know. That's such a good question. I don't know.
I'm curious,
but that is something. Can I talk about this?
Yeah.
This is interesting. You remember the Dreyfus model of skill acquisition? Do you remember? This is a great thing that you can look up that Eric Linus Kaplan, one of the producers of Big Bang, told me about years ago, that I teach it in class and how quickly we forget. But basically, it tells you that you have to go through 5 distinct phases before you become an expert at something. Remember that? And we teach that in class, but I don't think that I've been teaching it hard enough. I feel like now, because of some stuff that's recently come to light about learning, I'm going to be much more aggressive about teaching the way we learn, because I think we think that we go to a class and I say to you, this is the best clip for you to put in your hair. And you're like, okay, best clip. That's the best one. And then you memorize that that's the best clip. And then you hope for the best. But you don't really memorize, because next week I go, what's the best clip for your hair? And you're like, I think it was black, right? You don't really remember. You tried to memorize it, but we don't. We don't memorize. Things have to become habit. Right? And that means we have to go back to it so many times, and says the Dreyfus model. And then there are so many more things to learn. So, for example, if you're trying to learn substitution, once you understand what substitution is, I think you're really good. And then you just practice substituting, right? But if you recall, I'm trying to teach about 10 zillion things.
Yeah.
Right? I'm trying to teach you just about everything you could ever need to know about acting. So every scene we do brings up like another 150 things, And so then what you say to me after a while is, Les, you see these things and I don't. When am I going to see these things? And I have to say, in a while, are you rehearsing 3 hours a day every day? No, I'm not rehearsing, but that's ridiculous. I don't need to rehearse. I've been acting for 10 years, Leslie. I've taken all kinds of very important classes. I don't need to do that. Well, you don't need to do that if you're already on a show and they love what you're doing and everything is fine.
And it gets picked up for season after season, which you can't even know.
Right.
So you better be sharpening that tool.
Exactly. If that's not the case, then what I'd really rather you do is get freaking great at everything, because you just never know what is going to be the thing. And so that's the problem with habit and with learning, is that you see me, because you just said I've seen 40,000 people. I don't know how many people I've seen. But that's the thing. I'm really lucky. All I've done for 35, I don't know how many years, is look at scripts and work on scripts. Look at scripts,
with
work
actors.
on scripts, and watch TV and go to movies. And look at scripts and work on scripts with actors, right? It's all I do. So I've probably had the great pleasure of acting more, reading more, coaching more, watching more than anybody. And so you're not going to get to where I am for a while, especially not if you're a series regular on one show for 7 years, because you're playing one role. And in those 7 years, and not auditioning. And in those 7 years, I can't even count how many things I've looked at. So my brain has gotten to habituate all of this stuff. And every day I get to practice it. And that's why I say, could you please practice it every day?
Right.
And these days, with the way, we'll just go with things are, I don't even say it has to be 3 hours a day every day. Yeah. But I do say it has to be every day. Because every day, if you don't do it every day, you forget that much tonight.
100%.
So the more you, and theoretically, unlike me, you love it. I thought when I was in my early 20s that I loved acting and wanted to act. I realized that I love teaching so much more because I get to do so much of it. I was never, as an actor, going to get to act as much as I wanted to act. I feel like when I was in the chorus of Oklahoma at the National Music Camp, I, as the member of the chorus, was in like every scene, singing and dancing in every single scene with my compatriots. There was something so fulfilling. Yeah. I'm so fulfilled by this, and I bet you would be too. But you guys have so much more to worry about than I do. I don't really have to worry about what my hair is doing. I certainly don't have to have nails. I don't have to go shopping. I don't have to worry about so many things. I don't have to get there on time. I don't have to worry about if I have the right backdrop. I don't have to worry about being off book or looking like I'm off book when I'm really using my cold read app. You guys have so many things that make it hard on you. What I'm trying to do is make all the acting related things habitual, so that when you're under that kind of duress, it doesn't fuck with you. You're just like, oh yeah, I do this every day. It's not a big deal. This is what I do. Yeah. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, more than, I don't even remember what I asked, but I'm just thinking in my own head, I'm just like, wow, this really inspires me to like get back to acting every day, because it's...
Oh, you loved it. You loved having your friends over and you loved doing it. So what I would do is just get a group of 10 people together and just agree that every day you're going to do something. Yeah. And even one of those days could just be, hey, let's do this audition that I did 2 months ago and didn't get a call back for on Zoom for 15 minutes at 2:00. It doesn't have to be, okay, come over and it's going to be 5 hours.
Better be memorized and da-da-da-da. Yeah.
No, let's just exercise doing our job. Let's exercise our brain doing its job so that we're great at it when we're under duress, which is always.
I remember one of my teachers early on at your studio, I think it was Jay, I was like crying and I was like 23 and I'm just like, I don't know. I just like, I haven't booked yet. And I just feel like I didn't want to quit, but I was just like, I feel so exhausted and overwhelmed. And he was like, okay, how long have you been doing this? And I was like, I moved here like 3 years ago. And he just started laughing and he's like, oh, he's like, you're so fresh. You have such a long way to go. But something that he said that stuck with me forever. He's like, but by the way, there's no like hill and then you get to the top and there's a bunch of gold and you like collect it and you're like, yeah, I got it now and I'm good. And now at 30, I'm like just understanding that. And I'm like, wow, that's so true.
Look at his story. So he's been on a Shonda show for what, 5, 6, 7 years? That show is over. And, you know, here we are trying to get another job. He's right. You know, there is a pot of gold. There could be a pot of gold. But then, you know, I don't know, it moves or something.
Right,
like that book, Who Moved My Cheese? Yeah, and he's fantastic.
Yeah.
We're talking about, can I drop his name? I can drop his name. We're talking about Jay Hayden, right?
Yeah.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
And also look at what happened with him. When he finally booked that show, he told us the story that he went to one of those parties before the show starts shooting, and he went up to casting. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so glad you got this. This is the greatest thing. I'm so happy. And I think he said something like, really? Are you happy? And she's like, yeah. And I think he said something like, you brought me in for everything. And I never even got like a callback for anything. And she's like, I've been trying to get you a job since the day I met you. It's not my fault that they didn't cast you.
It's like, I've been sending you to producers.
Exactly. I've thought you were brilliant since day freaking one. I'm so glad this finally happened because look at all the lunacy that has to happen for somebody to get a job. So many insane, disparate parts have to agree.
Yeah. Well, can we talk about this for a second? I think people, they ask me, oh, should I be networking? Should I be going to casting director workshops? Should I be making friends with this person and that? Should I be focusing on social media? And here's my unprofessional answer is like, look, at the end of the day, I can only speak from personal experience. And here's what it's been. I've been to a party or two. I've met a people or two. No one has ever put me as the lead in their show, nor would I even think that because I've gone on so many auditions. And do you know how many people have to approve, how many cooks are in the kitchen have to approve my freaking tape? And like now it's just 2 tapes, maybe 3. Back then it was 6. And it's like, you think that someone is just going to be like, no, you guys, you have to put this one through. She's going to be the series regular of this network television show. It's like you have, what, 18 people, you think, at the end of the day that have to go, yes, we want to pay her $60,000 an episode and she's going to be the lead in our show, or we want to pay her $5 million and she's going to be in the movie or whatever. And so you just really have to take that ground up approach, I feel like.
Oh, I love you using the name of the
that
show.
in.
That's
the
ground
point.
up
That's the
approach.
point.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, and I agree. It's not going to kill you to go to a party. Who knows who you might meet, and you might have a good time. Don't drink at the party. Please don't drink. Don't do drugs at the party. When you go to that party, you actors, when you go to that party, you are at work. Okay? So you are very aware of what you're doing. And yeah, network, and yeah, try to meet people, and yeah, go to casting workshops if you're great. If your acting is not great, do not pay to show people your mediocre acting. Wait until your acting is great. Wait until every time you do that scene, people faint from your brilliance, and then go pay to have casting watch it. Right?
You know, there's this casting thing in New York that is like $1,500 for a weekend. And yeah, and it's like a 72-hour, I forget what it's called, but I've had like 3 clients, I want to say, that have asked me. I do mentorships on the business side of acting. I don't teach them how to act, but I teach them, you know, hey, I can help you with pitch emails or da-da-da, and questions like that. And I'm very honest. I'm like, I think at this stage, you don't need to pay $1,500 to go. It's just a casting director workshop, and there's agents and managers that might come or something like that.
I feel like there should be, I don't know what the word is, a clearinghouse, and that it shouldn't be if you can pay $1,500, you get to go to this thing. It should be how good are you? How good are you going to look in front of those people? Are they going to want you? Are they going to want to sign you? Are they going to want to bring you in? If they're not, please don't pay them $1,500.
Please.
And get your acting to a place where the second they see you do something, they're going to be like, perfect.
Yeah.
I need to sign that girl, bring her in.
Agreed.
I recently did a workshop for some kids from, we'll go with Europe, a country in Europe. And, of the 20 kids, 2 were marketable. Remember, they all have accents. Every single one of them has an accent, and it's not French or Spanish.
Yeah.
It's a weird accent that I've never seen a show wanting people with that particular accent. And 2 of them were marketable, and 2 of them made good choices. A grand total of 2. And even they weren't ready. I think it's great that they got to come. And that they had probably an amazing experience. Their mentor is one of the most prolific directors in town. It was probably a wonderful experience, but I doubt that more than 2 of them will move forward in the industry, and that bothers me.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know why somebody doesn't say, hey, could you improve what you're doing, and then let's do it next year.
Because 1% of people come out of the womb, prolific.
1% of the people are Robin Williams.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, the rest of us,
it's definitely not me.
We need to learn.
I was
stuff.
so green,
That's why you make me so happy today.
Greener than Shrek.
Seeing what you can do right now, you are the example of you.
And I'm still learning. Are you kidding me?
You're always going to be
always.
But to see you at that last audition come in and already be, I would say in the 90s, already be giving me an A, some kind of A. And then we just had to do this to get you to be phenomenal. That's a lot of work that you put in to get there. And it's really hard for people to realize that you're probably not going to get to that place where, again, Patrick Rush, Junie Lowry Johnson, some amazing cast director looks at you and goes, totally ready to be a series lead, move them forward.
Totally.
It's going to be a while.
Yeah.
And my recommendation is if you're super, super, super cute, you might get lucky.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you're not super, super, super cute.
That's what I say. I'm like, unless you're like unique, like something's going on there, you're either got a weird look, a really unique look, or you're stunning or something.
Or you have great stand up, or you are a member
Right.
of a very
Your
prolific
voice,
boy band,
yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
If you're just an actor, you better have something that makes them go, well, this one understood the story. So it's gotta be this one.
Right. So someone who's like because you have to start somewhere, right? So we're saying, don't necessarily go sign up for the casting director workshop right away. You say just like, get the fuck into class, understand your bearings.
This is what happens. What happens is I'm sitting there and I'm watching you after a while and I'm like, who's representing you? I like interrupt your scene and you're like, I'm not represented. Why aren't you represented? You need to get an agent right now. And you're like, okay.
And that's when you know? No, I love that.
Because I'm like, I don't know. It's because what it's probably been is for several weeks you've been coming in and I've been real happy with what you're doing. It doesn't mean that we don't need to tweak it a little bit, but it's tweakable. We can tweak it and get it where it needs to go.
Yeah. So what she just said, everyone, is that...
What did I just say?
No, because I don't know if they'll understand, but like what you're saying is, because this is such a common question, well, when do I reach out to reps? When do I get an agent or a manager? And then again, my method on that is also so ground up. I'm like, when they are ready, when it's like, who's your agent, when you say that line, and then if they were to come to someone like me and be like, wait, so how do I do it? I do the cold pitching method or referral.
Well,
is that what you...
Definitely refer. I am a big fan of, what is it called? Talent Link on Breakdown Services. You don't know about this?
No.
Okay, this is what you do. This is the first step. Make sure that all of their stuff is great. Their pictures are great.
Yep.
Their resume is great. They have some tape. They have to have a piece of tape.
Of course.
They also have resume clips. And so resume clips is, this is my single camera comedy. This is my independent film. Because some casting directors like one and some like the other, and a bio. Okay? So you make sure all of that is up there. And then you put it out on this thing called Talent Link that doesn't cost very much. I think it's like $35. And now everybody is going to be mad at me because it's going to go out on your podcast and they're going to go, why did you tell everybody?
I know. But to think how many people are probably already doing this. I mean,
It's a very good beginning. Now, listen, most of the time, the reps are not going to be CAA, okay, that are looking at talent link.
Yeah.
But you don't have any rep at all.
Yeah.
So how delightful if you get some rep and you can start working with a rep.
You
And
need to
let's
get
see how that
fired at
goes.
least twice.
At least. At least.
Or let go of them.
Mm-hmm.
So is there an it factor that you see when someone comes in, because you have seen 40,000 people? and wait, let me guess. Is it just freaking confidence? Does someone walk in there and they're like, yeah, I'm doing this scene, and then they just kind of like nail it in a nonchalant way? But that won't last probably.
No, I mean, I can think of just a very specific person right now who is very confident. But no, it's not just confidence. Confidence is great, but confidence and
not ego, but
no,
just like,
I mean, but confidence plus a lack of knowledge is not going to be helpful. Like, I'm thinking of a person right now who I fucking adore and think they are so freakishly wonderful. And they're doing a role on TV right now and they're magnificent. But then I saw them do this other thing that they thought was great, and this other thing they didn't get. And so their confidence kind of hurt them. So I think it's great to be confident and know what you're doing. And an it factor, there isn't the it factor.
Yeah.
It's, a look is really helpful.
Yeah.
Confidence is really helpful. Knowledge is really helpful. A sense of humor, an ability to like shoot the shit.
right,
and
totally.
Be yourself is very helpful. But I can think of so many people I know who fit all of those things and auditioned and auditioned and auditioned and didn't get it until they'd quit. And somebody came back after them and was like, are you still acting? Well, not really. Could you go out for this? Yes. And suddenly now they're king of the world. So I don't know that there is an it factor, but there are lots of things that help.
Yeah. Speaking of, it's going to be a sad question.
Oh, no.
When would you say an actor should
Throw in the
quit
towel?
pursuing the career of acting for TV and film?
Well,
Where they really think, I'm still pursuing this to make a living in television and film.
I am not going to say anybody should ever quit because you don't need to anymore. In the old days, you did need to because we could only have jobs after 6 p.m. And even then, sometimes we were late to those jobs because of callbacks, right? We're not living in that age anymore. There's no reason to quit. If this is what you want to do, I say, keep going.
So
Get
true.
really, really, really good.
Yeah.
You can have a perfectly delightful career as, I don't know, bioengineer, blah, 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 blah. And, you're probably working at home anyway. And so you can go in the other room and make that tape and come back to work and nobody's going to be the wiser. And you'll have a wonderful career. You'll make a perfectly lovely amount of money. You'll be able to live in a lovely way whilst pursuing your dream.
Yeah.
Why? I don't like it when I hear that people are pursuing acting but not taking into consideration why they're not booking. That's a problem. I'm like, well, are you just expecting a miracle? Because I feel like, miracles happen after you've done everything you can possibly do. So I think you kind of still have to be in there doing everything you can possibly do. But why, if you love it, why would you? Don't give up on it.
Yeah.
You never
especially
know.
in this, you're so right in this day and age.
I'm thinking of that woman. I can't think of her name. She played Jessica on Soap, and she was amazing. She had the fiery red hair, and she had done theater her whole life.
Catherine
and I think,
Hellman.
Yes, Catherine Hellman, you did that so fast. Catherine Hellman. And my understanding of the story is that she didn't really make it until she was like in her 50s.
Yeah.
And then she freaking made it.
Yeah.
But how awful would it have been, not only for her, but for all of us?
You totally.
If she hadn't.
We would be deprived of that.
Because she was out of this world.
Can you tell us a story of one of your clients? Doesn't even have to be someone that made it huge, but one of your actors who frickin' you saw they've been auditioning for years and years and years and years, and finally after 7 years, your dude or your gal frickin' booked her series regular. You don't have to say the person, but like, what is this?
It was Jay Hayden, who we've just talked about.
Oh.
He did every commercial known to mankind. He guested, he recurred, he co-starred, he did everything.
It's me.
And it just, is it you?
That's me right now.
It's you right now?
Just waiting for that. But wait, keep going.
Don't wait. Make. Don't wait. Don't take up any of your time waiting. Put all of that energy you're putting into waiting and, write a 2-minute short. Or get somebody to write a 2-minute short and you produce it and get everybody in it. Or put on a 10-minute play. Or do something that nobody's doing on TikTok. Or make something. Make something. You're making this, which is amazing. And you're making your book, which is amazing. Keep making. No waiting. Get so busy with what you're making that no pressure at all goes into your acting and into your auditions. Get so effortless that, oh, great, I get to do an audition today. That'll be fun. And then I get to go back to writing the sequel.
So that's what I am doing right now. But you want to know something that I can't shake the pressure of? So I don't have the pressure anymore of like, oh my God. Like, when is this? I'm just like, all right, fuck it. At this point, I'm doing all my own entrepreneurial things that I love, But the one thing that I can't help but shake is like, when the audition does come into my inbox, and I'm pleasantly surprised by an audition since they are so sparse these days, is I can't help but be like, oh my God, a Taylor Sheridan spinoff? I'm perfect for this? Holy fuck. Okay, I'm so excited. Like, let me put this on tape. And I can't help but think about that audition after I do it, and then heaven for fucking bid I get in the mix, which I might, and then I'm thinking about it even more. Yes, Leslie.
Thank you for calling on me, Natalie. I think the answer is it's got to be Tuesday. You got to be looking at Taylor Sheridan new series regulars every day.
Okay.
You've got to be looking at this every day.
That's a good idea. Exposure therapy.
Yeah, it's still going to freak you out.
Yeah.
Right? But what we're trying to do is make that duress not negatively affect your work, right? So the best way that I can think to do it is to do it every day. You're still going to be pretty excited, right? But also, if the sequel to your book is about to get bought, right? And if, Malcolm Gladwell's company is about to buy your podcast.
Right.
It's going to be a little less,
right.
exciting because Malcolm Gladwell is Malcolm
Knocking
Gladwell.
at the door.
What is it? Pushkin? Is that his company? Yeah. So Malcolm, buy Natalie's podcast.
Please.
But do you see what I mean? If you
do.
have other things in the fire, other irons in the fire that are really exciting, it's always going to be exciting to get to work for Taylor Sheridan. He's a freaking genius, and his shows are freaking genius.
Literal.
And, oh, my God.
Dream.
But, Taylor was you at one point in time. Taylor was just an auditioning actor coming in and going, what choice should I make on this? And what do I do here? Oh, yeah, we worked together for years.
Stop.
Years.
He's my Wind River, Sicario.
I am aware.
Like,
he's a genius.
Not just his Lioness, Landman. Fucking. Oh, that's my dream show.
Oh,
that is my absolute.
I know.
Did you read the spinoff script?
The second season?
No.
His new spinoff of Lioness.
No. His new show, spinoff of Yellowstone.
Yeah, but I don't think I read.
Maybe
the full
we cut
script.
this part. I don't know.
You can feel free to send it to me. I don't think I've read it.
Okay, it's a cross. It's like
it's the one with
the Marshalls.
The beautiful blonde girl, Kelly, and Rick. What's his name? Her boyfriend, husband.
Is she in it?
Yeah, the beautiful blonde
from
daughter
Yellowstone.
From Yellowstone.
Oh, is she? She's.
Yes, it's their show.
Oh, it's their show. Yeah. Well, I know that the original Luke Grimes is in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the same show. I know. And there's stuff that I absolutely
now there's
can't
stuff
say.
coming up. But yeah, I auditioned for it and it was so good. And I was like, it was just like checked my avails. But for me, anything, it's like if you don't have sex for a really long time and then someone touches you and you're like, oh God, I think I just. And
That's
then
good to know.
she was like, my agent was like, yeah, they checked your avail. I'm like, for the Yellowstone. And I started crying, and I don't cry ever. And she's like, oh, I didn't realize it would affect you this much. So I was like,
because all any of us want to do is be on Yellowstone. Yellowstone is it.
It's it. And this one, and
and
I'll send you the
1923?
script if you don't have it.
Please.
It is a cross between lioness and Yellowstone because it's about the combat. It's police SWAT that come in, and because Luke Grimes' character used to be a part of the force, and so they're bringing that back. He signs up again and it's about the PD and all of that. So,
I haven't watched the end of this season's Yellowstone, so don't tell me.
No, I won't.
But also 1923, if you haven't watched it.
I haven't, so I need to watch it.
You're gonna die.
How does he come up?
I don't know, but I'm telling you, the man can do no wrong as far as I'm concerned.
Same.
Because that's what he's giving me to watch on TV. And nobody else is giving it to me.
Truly. And like when you watch the credits and you're just like, wait, I'm sorry, written, created, and directed? Mm-hmm. Okay,
and he rides horses.
Yeah.
And he bought most of Texas,
I
think.
Which would be a dream to shoot in.
And how smart is he? So my understanding is he was going to quit, I guess, after Yellowstone, but then this ranch that he grew up next to became available for sale. And he's like, okay, well, I guess I'll just do a bunch more TV shows and then I can afford it.
Oh, my God.
Isn't that the coolest?
That's so cool.
Talk about your dream coming true.
Literally.
But Taylor was sitting around not working as an actor for years. Oops.
See,
and I'm telling you, he was a good actor. I wasn't having problems with his acting, but he wasn't working. So no, if you feel it in your bones, like this is what I'm supposed to do, and you're continuing to work on yourself, and you're not just languishing, don't give up. Just get another job so that you can have a nice life, and you can get married, and you can have kids, and you can buy a house, and you can do that now. We couldn't do that before, but now you can.
One more thing on this note, and then we'll end, but on that note of having a job on the side, I've always been so turned off by the term survival job and starving artist.
I don't want you to do either one of those things.
Right?
I want you to do something great. Yeah. Because you can now.
You can now. And
you
also,
can be a lawyer and also be an actor. You can be a doctor and also be an actor.
Totally. And even being a working actor, supporting myself for 7 years just from acting.
Yay.
I have so much time off. Because I'm not number one. I'm not, you know what I mean? I have so much, I would go crazy, honestly. So I have things that make you a whole human being that you enjoy doing and passionate about doing, love doing.
Yeah, but also get a job.
Yeah, have a job that you love.
Yeah, that, I understand it's not acting and that acting is the number one job you want, but right now you don't have that.
Yeah.
So come up with something else that you can do that is going to keep you alive and make you not miserable and make you enough money. And make you reasonably able to get up in the morning.
Yeah, 100%.
And then continue to pursue it. Why give up on your dream?
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me.
It makes no sense. Oh, that's perfect.
What did you say, Catherine Hellman? Yeah.
Jessica
Hellman.
Was no, you're right.
Catherine Hellman was the actress.
Right. Yeah, Jessica's the character.
There was an actress named Anne Maney that I don't remember how I knew her. I don't remember if it was theater. It was theater. I met her doing theater. And she had a whole life. And then I think when she was 65, she goes, I've always wanted to act.
Stop.
And she started acting. And she ended up doing all these wonderful things. It was so cool.
At the end of the day, you create what you want to do, your reality. And if you want to stop because you genuinely don't like it, then you can do that. Or you keep doing it forever. Which is what I'm going to do.
Yes, you are.
Les, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
My listeners they've been taking notes this whole time. I know they have, so I really appreciate it.
Better take notes, you people.
But all of your information will be in the show notes, so they'll be able to clickety-click, follow you on Instagram. Are you still doing those videos where you say great things on Instagram?
I think they're still posting them. I take no credit. Rebecca asks me questions.
And then they're great. They all go viral. So you're a star. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.